China will not seek new special differential treatment in WTO negotiations. This is from the remarks of Chinese Premier Li Qiang when he spoke at a high-level meeting on the Global Development Initiative on the sidelines of the general debate of the 80th session of the UN General Assembly. Even for an ordinary person like me, this remark sounds very different and outstanding since China joined the WTO in 2001. But most of us have no idea what the actions mean. So what does new special differential treatment mean? I did some research. Since China joined the WTO, it has classified itself as a developing country, and that means it can have lower levels of commitment to certain member obligations, longer periods to implement requirements of transition agreements, and access to technical aid, and now no new special differential treatment. While in fact researchers say China didn't take advantage over it except some training sessions. So then what's the significance of such a change? Researchers say since 2019, the US kept pressing the WTO, trying to change the methods to identify developing countries. And China has been finger-pointed for this special differential treatment. But back then, China didn't give up special differential treatment in order to avoid being misunderstood as giving up its identification as a developing country and abandoning its partners of developing countries. So now the message is clear that China will not seek special differential treatment, but it is still the largest developing country in the world, and it is still a member of the Global South. And that's at the cornerstone for settling the trade disputes by negotiation between China and big economies. In my memory, foreign businesses started to boom since 2001, and export and import started to skyrocket. I used to live in an isolated country, and then there started the foreign brands popping up in the market, and individual tours to overseas countries become possible. So in general, everything told us that we are part of the world, and I was strongly impressed by the then popular book called The World is Flat, and I deeply believed so, like many of us. And on the sideline of the news, the public have already sensed from media that compared to 2001, the WTO is taking limited capacity and becoming weaker when it comes to trade disputes, especially with certain countries. And also, that even explains why regional trade organizations are booming in recent years, such as the RCEP. One of my teachers of economics once told us that each country has studied carefully about every regional trade organizations when WTO fails to exert its influence by making use of the appropriate regional organizations, like putting a number of patches in a small, smart way. Every country can have the possibility to seek channels for its trade and bypass those blocks. So this is my limited understanding of this announcement. Anyway, it's a milestone after 24 years, and I think gradually everyone could feel the impact.